Yo, let's talk about it because I'll be honest with you, that sounds kind of like a red flag. Now, listen, I'm not a professional. I do have friends on this app that follow me that are professionals. I love to hear what they think is maybe being said. But in this bigger discussion about boundaries and projection and like stepping into people's interiors and trying to help them with the work they're responsible to do, that's what it sounds like you're being asked to do. But let's look at this in the best way possible. Are you being asked to hold space while this person takes ownership and follows through on the steps that they need to do to learn? That's different. That's saying, hey, can you be patient with me? Can you be kind with me as I kind of get my footing? Are you being asked to co-regulate with this person? Hey, I had a tough day at work. Can I get a hug? Hey, would you mind doing a meditation with me? Are you being asked to share information together? Like, hey, here's this workbook we can do together. Hey, let's journal together. Let's read this thing or listen to this podcast. Those are all things that are different than can you help someone with their emotions? Because on the surface, it sounds like the opposite of exactly what we're talking about. So I guess my question would be, what do they mean by help? Because you're not the parent, you're the partner. And how exactly are you supposed to help if they lack the basic understanding? And it's their job to learn that skill and to be invested in themselves to learn that skill if they really want to work on it. Because to me, it seems like it could make a codependent dynamic even worse. No one is responsible for anyone else's emotions. You may be responsible for the behaviors that led to it and the impacts, but once that emotion is there, it's theirs to deal with. And if you or me or anyone caused that emotion and we realize it and we feel guilty about it, we can then offer to be the co-regulator, to repair. Hey, I'm sorry I did the thing. I know it made you mad. How can I help? And in those positive examples I gave, let's focus on what is being maintained. Autonomy. You should not feel obligated to have to help with anybody's emotional dysregulation, especially if they lack the skills. If you so choose to be a help, well, we need to respect their autonomy and it needs to be at their invitation. Then what you're doing is kind of that first example I gave. You're holding space. If you picture each other's like internal spaces, they're close, but they're still separate, right? You're allowing them into this space and they're allowing you into this space, but we're not doing this. So those are just my thoughts. Keep in mind, again, I'm not a professional. It does sound like a red flag to me. And unfortunately, there are like not great counselors and not great therapists out there. So any of my mutuals that are professionals, if you would like to chime in, I would really love to hear it. I'm sure this person would too. The last thing that I'll say is from my experience with my ex, that advice was not helpful. It would not have been helpful because I was already trying to do that. And it led to some of the dynamics that I described in this video and in the other videos I've been posting recently. So holding space, asking for co-regulation, asking to work on something together or study something together is way different than saying, hey, he can't, so you have to. That is just not your burden. Grace and peace.